understand it. That's why the disc is so powerful. And today we only walked out on the surface. We haven't even bent down to scratch the surface yet on what all is in that disc. It's an amazing tool. So Zig Ziglar said this, selling ain't telling. Now he was a Southern boy, so we can use the word ain't, right? Selling ain't telling. What is selling? Selling is asking questions and solving problems. Let me ask you a question. What problem do you solve? How many of you here are in insurance sales, right? Right? Okay. How many of you here are in travel sales? Let me ask you, what problem do you solve? You need to figure that out. That's the key to this whole thing of unlocking mega sales, is what problem do you solve? Selling ain't telling. Here's my favorite quote by Zig Ziglar. You can have everything in life that you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want in life. What do your customers want in life? Sometimes it's nothing that you sell. I walked into this condo one time. I have a maid service. I walked in and I said, what's your biggest challenge? That was the first thing out of my mouth. What's your biggest challenge? He said, my computers are broken. I'm just stressed out. I said, do you mind if I help you with that? I said, sure. I got on my phone and called my buddy Joe Broccoli, who owns an IT store, and I connected him with him. And you know what happened? I got a $500,000 contract because I helped him get what he wanted. Sometimes helping other people get what they want has nothing to do with insurance or travel, but it builds a relationship, and the world revolves around a relationship. Somebody hold up a glass. Somebody, I don't care who, right here. This glass is here because of a relationship. The chair that you're sitting in right now is here because of a relationship. Go out there and build relationships. Help people get what they want, and I promise you, you will be a more successful salesperson in whatever industry you want. You can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want in life. Selling essentially is a transfer of emotions. Now let me ask you, are people excited, truly excited about buying insurance? No.
Yeah, when they sit with me.
I am. Yes,
Yeah?
me too.
Truly excited?
Yeah.
Do they wake up in the morning and say, I can't wait, I'm going to go buy insurance? No. I don't care what you say, they don't. Why do people buy insurance? Remember, selling essentially is a transfer of emotion. Now, I'm not telling you not to be excited about your work, but I'm telling you, mirror the excitement level of them. If they're coming in concerned, don't be flippant. Don't be excited. If they're coming in and say, oh my goodness, I want to make sure that my kids have a great future, then you need to reflect that. So selling is essentially a transfer of emotion. Selling is a process. Process stands for something. We're going to go through it real quickly here and here in just a little bit, but it's not an event. Selling is not something that just happens. Selling is something that happens systematically, and I'm going to give you a system, including the disc, but I'm going to give you a bonus system here as well. First one is plan, prepare, and prospect. Plan. What does that mean? You have to know who you're going to go see today. You're going to have to know what you're going to say. You're going to have to know all about them. Prepare. What do they like? Do they like golf? Do they like scuba diving? Do they like donuts? Think about the customer. It's all about the customer. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Prospect. Once you have shared your message because you have planned and prepared, be prospecting everywhere you go. Like, Mr. Smith, we helped you today with your insurance. Is there anything else that we can help you with? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Do you have somebody in your family? Okay, you have to ask. You have to be prospecting. The R stands for relate. You have to be relatable. This is kind of weird. I was in a hot tub with Tom Ziglar, Zig Ziglar's son. My wife was there too, okay. And I said, Tom, your dad, Zig, had what we as speaker world call magic. He had magic. What was it? Why did he have magic? And Tom he's not like his dad. He's more of a C-type personality. Zig was more of an I-type personality. And he was very slow and deliberate, and he has this imaginary beard, and he was up here and just started rolling up his beard thinking. And he said, as only a Texan can say, he says, well, I think it was because he was relatable. Think about it. Every story that you've ever heard Zig Ziglar talk about was, I did it, you can too. Second grade education to the very top, because if one man can do it, another man can do it. You know, and he used to tell this story. He says, man, at the beginning of my sales career, I didn't sell anything. And then he says, oh yeah, I did sell a lot. I sold my car, I sold my house, I sold my mortgage, everything, right? He knows what it's like to park his car in Piggly Wiggly so they don't come repo it. And you know what the difference was in Zig Ziglar's life? One day his boss, PC Merrill, came up to him and said, Zig, I have never seen a bigger waste than you. He said, if you would come to work on a regular schedule and work as hard as you can, I believe you could be a great one. Think about that. That's what turned Zig Ziglar around. He was failing at everything he did, and PC Merrill said, you're the biggest waste I've ever seen. Isn't that amazing? What are you investing in other people? Are you encouraging other people? That's down a bunny trail. That's a squirrel. All right, relate. One of the first questions I ask in all of my companies when a phone call or a customer comes in is I ask the question, how did you hear about us? Who referred you to us? And you can take notes because this will change the way you do business. This is the way you start doing your sales. How did you hear about us? They're going to say, oh, Mrs. Smith told me about you. Here's the second question that I always ask. Great, we love Mrs. Smith. What did Mrs. Smith say about us? And the reason you want to ask that question is simply because you want to start getting the customer's mind in a positive rotation of saying, Mrs. Smith sent me, she said this about you. You know, and you don't know what's going on in their mind, so you have to kind of control that. So ask those two questions. How were you referred to us, and what did they say about us? You're closing the sale at the very beginning already. The reason you want to ask that question, it allows you to do several things. It allows you to track, okay? If you buy a billboard and spend, you know, thousands of dollars on a billboard, and over a period of a year you get 2 clients versus Mrs. Smith that refers you to 150 clients, at the end of the year, are you or are you not going to renew the contract for the billboard? No, because it's not working. How do you know it's not working? It's because you're asking those questions. Where did you hear about us? Was it from the radio? Was it from the referral reward program? Whatever it was. So you need to be